All right, so the AI initiative is something new at UNF. I know that the program launches tonight at 6 p.m., I believe.
Correct.
I kind of just want to get to know a little more about the program, the initiative, and the thought process behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I'm really excited and honored to be talking to you, to the Spinnakers, and through you to all our wonderful students here at UNF.
Yeah.
Very nice. The AI certificate on AI for work and life. The idea came about when we were thinking, AI is really changing the way we work, the way we learn, the way we teach, the way we do research, the way we live. It touches almost all aspects of our lives. And also has an incredible impact on us as individuals. So also one of our strategic priority is to be a resource for our community. And community means internal community, faculty, staff, and students, but also the community at large in our region, state, and also the country and maybe even the world. So we have been, for the last few years, true leaders, thought leaders, pioneers in artificial intelligence. We are probably among very few, if any, university that develop a very well thought out, articulated strategic plan for AI. We formed an AI council composed of many faculty and staff from different disciplines that helped develop that strategic plan, but also implement it. So one aspect of that strategic plan is also just training people, teaching people. So this is what this came about. We did not want the price for the certificate to be a barrier. And that's why we are offering it for free during several months until December 31st for anyone. Do you know, as of this morning, how many registration do we have?
Was it 11,000?
16,000.
Wow.
And growing. 16,000. What's really interesting is that most of that number are people from outside UNF, which I think is good.
Mm-hmm.
We have about a little bit more than 1,000 from UNF, which is good because at UNF, I'm sure you know, as students, we have many courses on AI, we have many badges and certificates, but we are fulfilling our goals to educate really our region, our state, our country, and the world about the impact of AI. And this really, I'm hoping it will put UNF on the map. These people will have a certificate from UNF. We will highlight the great work of our faculty and staff and friends on AI, and I cannot be happier about this. I think this will really improve the visibility in a very good way of this great institutions. UNF is no longer that best-kept secret.
Right.
If there is any doubt, the thousands of people who will take this, they will see firsthand how important it is. Now, a little bit about the objective of this certificate, 8 modules, and it's really flexible. So even though we start this evening and it goes for 8 weeks, it's flexible. So if someone misses one module or 2, they can go and watch the recording. And of course, to earn the certificate, they need to pass a quiz and for each module and earn at least 80%. They cannot use ChatGPT to answer the quiz. That's very important. The main purpose is really to train people and participants on how to use AI effectively, efficiently, and ethically at work, all aspects of work, from marketing, finance, human resources, and others, but also in our lives. What are the tools available to make us more productive at home, and also for the things we do at home, and also for the things we do at work. We will cover also areas like how is AI affecting different industries, like higher education, like healthcare, finance, law, and other areas. What are the limitations, the constraints, and more importantly, what are the tools available for all of us so that we become better professional and also live, hopefully, a better life.
Right. How do you use AI with your work?
Yeah, I really I'm fascinated by AI. What I use AI is I always use different systems for different purposes, but I always use it as input to what I want to do, never as output. I think it's a big mistake to use it cut and paste. I think it's a tool. It should remain a tool and should not replace or give you or tell you what to write, what to say, but it can help you do what you do better, articulate it better. English is my fourth language, so it helps with proofreading, with many of these aspects. And as I tell our students and our friends is, we will not be replaced by an AI system, but we will definitely be replaced by someone who knows how to use an AI system effectively, efficiently, and more importantly, ethically.
When it comes to ethics, what do you think are the biggest challenges?
The biggest challenge is really not citing your sources, using it without really that thought process where, students that is given a paper to write, if they give the question for the paper, the report, and then cut and paste and present it at their own work, that's a good example. And this is true for all of us, not just students. So it's really important to understand the ethics of AI. Same thing in healthcare, right? So if a doctor relies solely on an AI system, that gives me some concerns. That's why it is still a tool. And that's why I really like to call it augmented intelligence rather than artificial intelligence. It is supposed to augment our intelligence, but not completely replace our human intelligence.
Right, right. When did you first start planning for the AI initiative?
That was several months ago. So I had the idea, the vision. I tried similar or certificates on different topics in my prior life at my prior institutions. So we had the platform. We have a good partner that will help us with the digital platforms, and just got a great team together that made it happen. Really is, and that speaks volume for the incredible faculty and staff we have here. We use a lot of our faculty, but we use also friends and experts from all over the world to participate in this. It's going to be really exciting, very exciting.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Are there, I think a lot of people were wondering, I've heard this question asked a lot, like, are there plans to offer more certificates like this one in the future?
Absolutely. More certificate. This is our first here. We want to make sure that the machine is well oiled. So definitely. But also, please remember, for all our students, we offer so many courses and so many badges for them right here at UNF. But there will be more of similar certificates available for everyone. Hopefully soon, once we make sure that the machine is well oiled. Right.
Is there another question I've had, like staff members come to me about?
Yes, of course.
Is they're wondering, is there any plans to increase like technology infrastructure to better handle some of these AI programs?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we are probably one of the best chief information officers in the country, Dr. Brian Verkamp, and we're investing a lot of money on our IT infrastructure to be able to handle this explosion of artificial intelligence and similar systems and technologies.
Okay. Is there a timeline on that, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing it every single year, every
Right.
single month. We don't have endless resources, but that's a top priority for us, especially as we grow. And I think we're going to be talking about the growth. It's really important. That's an investment in our students, faculty, and staff. We cannot operate without reliable infrastructure, IT infrastructure, that is safe and secure and can handle the newer technology like artificial intelligence. So it's really important. We have, just the last 2-3 years, we had the biggest investment in our enterprise resource planning system, Workday, that completely changed and streamlined and really automated a lot of our processes, got rid of a lot of paper, such as hiring, such as different transactions. So that was a multi-million-dollar investment, and we will continue our investment. And also, we're doing a lot of partnerships with these companies who develop these artificial intelligence agent and systems, generative AI and others. We have one with Microsoft. And we are always thinking about expanding more partnerships so that our students, our faculty and staff can benefit from them.
Right. Well, that's good to hear. To shift kind of subjects, I've been doing a lot of research on the state university system as a whole in recent legislative actions. Okay. And I have realized that a good portion of the state university system presidents don't have much experience working in classroom settings with students directly, being educators, but you have.
Oh, yes.
And I wanted to know how has your direct experience working with students helped you as a president?
Tremendous. I don't think I would have made the progress that we made, and even though I'm not the only one who's making this progress, we have just incredible team of faculty and staff and leadership team. But honestly, I think one of the main factors for me personally as a leader of this great university is being an academic at heart, but not just a professor. I started, and I give you a little bit of my background. I grew up in North Africa. My father was elementary school teacher, and he became elementary school principals, but in a very poor city in the center of Tunisia where I grew up. We did not have water. We did not have running water or electricity, no Netflix, no Wi-Fi. My kids cannot believe that, but it was really the case. And I remember when I was 3-4 years old, my father would take the only oil lamp that we had and leave us with candles to give pro bono tutoring to the 6th graders to prepare them for major national exam, where the passing rate is about 30%. That exam will decide if they move on with their studies in middle school and high school, or they would stop right there. So I remember vividly asking my father, why would you leave us with, and I was 3-4 years old, barely can think. I was always asking him, why do you take the only oil lamp and leave us with candles? And he always gave me the very same answer, is that these kids needs it more than we do, because they need the tutoring to pass this exam so that they can succeed, change their lives and change the lives of their families and become great citizens of their communities. What my father was teaching me at a young age, it took me many years to understand that, is that education is the best way for social mobility, financial prosperity, and to change lives. So even very early on in my upbringing, I knew the value of education. That starts my love for education. But then I started from a teaching assistant to assistant professor, associate professor, department chair, full professor, associate dean, vice president, and president. And so I've been through all the ranks in academia, and also I have done research at a very high level, received best papers awards, a lot of funding, and also when I was in my first job in Canada, received the first Teacher in Canada award. This is why I really think I have that advantage of knowing academia at all levels, and having done research and teaching at a high level equipped me to better understand my colleagues, better be closer to our students, and hopefully help be effective and efficient leader.
Right. I wonder, what does that experience that you've gained, how does that affect how you work within the state university system with the other university presidents who may not have that experience?
Yeah, every president and every leaders have their strengths and have their blind spots, like me. I think it's really important. We meet with all the presidents. We meet every Monday through Zoom at 5 p.m. and we share good practices, we share concerns, we share a lot of ways we lead. So I think in terms of, for me personally, is I understand what a good department chair can do. What does it entail to be a good department chair? The same thing for a dean, same thing for a vice president. So that really is helping me a lot.
What does it take to be a good chair, dean?
A good department chair?
Yeah.
A lot of patience, a lot of patience, a lot of human skills, because you need to evaluate faculty. You need to also be a good communicator. You will need to have the DNA of being student-centered, organization skills, because there's a lot of demand. And honestly, I always think is you have not done that department chair job, there will always something missing from your experiences to become a dean, provost, or a president, because this is where you are the boots on the ground. You schedule courses, you evaluate faculty, you deal day to day with staff, with students' complaints and students' questions. So I think it takes a lot. When I became department chair, I was probably the youngest department chair in Canada. That was where I started as department chair. It was tough. It was tough. I had to lead, manage faculty who are more senior than me in rank, in age. It was a very difficult department, and I've learned so much. I really have learned so much, and I still use these skills that I learned. And I made a lot of mistakes too.
Shifting gears again,
No problem.
I would like to kind of touch on some things. My time working at Spinnaker, I've one of the probably the most prominent thing I've noticed among students, faculty, staff, is kind of a misunderstanding of what your role is.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I would like to I mean, I feel like some people seem to believe that you have some sort of omnipotent power over state law, university policy.
Yeah, thank you. You know what? This is the first time somebody asked me this question, and I'm so happy you asked. I am. And I think we take things for granted. I assume that people know what a president does, but I am so happy. Thank you. Thank you, Madelyn, for asking that question. You know how I describe my job to people in a little bit funny way. I say, I am the president of this great university, University of North Florida, and I have a total control of $20 budget. But in all seriousness, I think the best analogy would be if you look at any private or public company or organization is the chief executive officer, the CEO of this university. So what do I do? First of all, of course, rally the institutions, the different stakeholders behind a strategic vision, strategic priorities, and make sure it gets executed. That's really important. I am in charge of hiring, retaining the team, the executive team that will help drive that mission, vision, strategic priority to perfect execution. I am in charge of resource allocations, so budget management and resource allocations, not just allocating resources to different units, but also a big part of my job is to increase the resources for these institutions. How do we increase them? Through, of course, the tuition and fees and everything else, but also, more importantly, through philanthropy, also through entrepreneurial activities. So this is in terms of budget management. I think my job is to represent the university in different. The president is the face of the university. So for the community, I am on board of many important organizations like the Jacksonville Civic Council, which has all the leaders in our community. I think also I am the interface in the university and the state, the Board of Governors. I am the person that will go to the state and ask for more resources for the universities, and I'm really happy that in terms of philanthropy, we broke all the records last year and this year. In terms of bringing money from the state, we also broke all the records for the last 3 years. We broke the record from resources from our own city, and we're working a lot for bringing more resources from federal government. So that aspect of representing the university, bringing more resources, allocating these resources is really important. I do not make laws. I do not also make regulations that come from the state, but I am responsible for compliance with these laws and these regulations.
Right.
That's really important. Now, of course, every time I have a chance, and we have some type of concerns with some of these regulations, I express them with my fellow presidents, and that's what we do. I really think I have one of the best jobs ever, because I can come and work with my colleagues on changing the lives of our students, one life at a time. Like this year, almost 40% of our students are Pell Grant recipient. You know, what does that mean, right?
Yeah.
That means that they are at the poverty level or below. That's 15,000 and a change for one person. That's 21,600 for a family of two. So when they come to us, we have the noble mission to give them the best possible education, but more importantly, prepare them for that job at graduation or shortly after with a competitive salary so that they can change their lives. We are in the business of changing lives. Is that clear?
Yes, yes, I think.
Please, if anything is not clear, because I really want it to be very, very clear. What do I do
Right.
every day?
I think that is very clear. It's something that I always understood working with the things that I have to work with, but I think it's very unclear to the general student body, to the general. I think what you said is going to be clear, but I think
Thank you.
before what you said, I think they think, they think of a president of they think of the president of the United States. That's not really the same role as the president of a university.
I don't lead with the executive orders. I don't have that.
Right.
We have a great team, work with the team for important decisions.
Right.
And so it's a little bit different from that perspective.
Yes, yes. So I know that you just got back from the Board of Trustees meeting.
Correct?
You're midway through your contract at UNF?
No, a little bit more.
More than that,
Yeah, no,
yes.
more than half.
Yeah.
We're 3 years and a half, 3 years and
Right.
change, and it's a contract of 5 years.
Right. And they were doing these reviews.
Correct.
They did your evaluation.
Correct.
And a representative from Siegel, his name was Jason Adwin.
Siegel.
It was SEGAL, or acronym. I'm not super sure.
Okay.
I will.
I don't know.
Check
Do you know
that.
what's Siegel? Okay.
Siegel Group,
Yeah.
consulting service.
Oh, yes, yes, I'm sorry. Yes. It's, there are consultants who did, they did the 360, no, 360 was they did the compensation study.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
And he mentioned today at the Board of Trustees meeting that he mentioned how rising political tensions make university leadership incredibly difficult. And he said, another presenter, I believe before Mr. Adwin, her name was Melody Rose.
Yes.
From Wickheifer.
Wickheifer.
Okay.
She did, she coordinated the 360 evaluation.
Right.
Yes.
And she said something before Mr. Adwin did. She advised the trustees during the meeting to, quote, support you during a, quote, very difficult moment for the nation.
I'm glad. Obviously, I was not there.
Right,
It was
I
my
know.
decision to leave because
Yes.
I really wanted everybody to feel comfortable to say whatever
Yes,
they
yes.
want.
But-
So I'm glad she said that, and it is difficult because as a president you deal with different stakeholders, internal and external. They have different priorities, they have different ideologies, they have different way of thinking, and you really have to navigate in all of this. Your compass should be what is good for your university, what is good for your students, for your faculty and staff. So it's not always easy.
Right. And so how do you navigate stabilizing this environment that
Yeah.
seems to continue becoming more unstable by the minute?
Great question. And this is something that I always tell my team. There's two things I do when things get really tough. Two things. First, let's remember why we're here. Why do you think we're here? We're here because of you, because we want to improve your lives. We want to change your lives. That's the best possible thing to do. That's the biggest impact. We're not giving you the fish, we're teaching you how to fish. Hopefully the education that you are having right here will allow you to prepare for the next phase of your life, either graduate school or job or starting your own business. There is nothing better than that, especially when you're, unlike many other universities, you're dealing with 40%, almost 40% of your students are Pell Grant recipient, and they are at the poverty level or below. Just tell me which job is better than that. I cannot, and for me, I don't think I can be happier doing anything else, regardless of how much I will earn for that job. So that's number one. Remember why we're here. What is number two? Control the controllable. Control the controllable. What does that mean? It means there are many things that are out of our control, but also there are many things that are under our control. What should we do? We work hard to move the needle, make a difference, have an impact on the things that we can control and we can do better in. So these two things are really my mantra. I try to share it with the team, and that's how we are making progress. We are breaking all the records in turbulent times. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. It does. I do want to ask, one of the biggest, most important issues right now to students at UNF has been the university's agreement with ICE.
Sure, yeah.
And many students from across the political spectrum,
Yeah.
from across different organizations and groups have asked me to ask you a few questions.
Very fair question. Yeah.
And so I know that this agreement is required by the state, and it's required by, I know you have no ability to control what the state requires public universities to do.
Correct.
But students have asked for more transparency
Sure.
about the ICE agreement.
Yeah.
And UNF has, in fact, been more transparent than most other public universities.
The most
about-
transparent university.
Right.
Yes.
So this is one of the small
Yeah.
number of you're one of the small number of university presidents as well who has immigrated here from the US, or to
Correct.
the US.
Correct.
And you've spoken about this a number of times.
Yeah.
And I do want to know, is there anything you could right now say to students at
Yes.
UNF who
Absolutely.
are scared right now,
Yes.
who are worried that the university is not being forthright enough about the agreement?
Okay. Let me start a little bit my own background.
Yeah.
I came here as an international student.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every single alphabet of these visas,
Mm-hmm.
F1, J1, H1, green card, I went through them. I understand the stress every time you come to cross any borders, car, ships, flights. You are at the mercy of that person. They can reject your entries, and that was stress that I lived. So I really do understand, probably better than what a lot of people think. We are not indifferent. We really understand that. As you so well mentioned, we were instructed to sign this agreement. But also, I can assure you, every time there is a new development, we were so transparent about what is happening and what it means for our community here at UNF. When we signed it, we made it clear. We made it publicly available. When they signed, I signed it back. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
When they started training 2 of our officers, we made it very clear they have not been accredited yet. Nothing has changed. We have not had any ICE activities on our campus. But please, let's make sure we understand. ICE are federal agents. They do not need the president's permissions or a department chair permission or any permission to come and go to any place and reinforce the law. That is really important, with this agreement or without this agreement. Now, one of the things I really want people to understand, I hope you, Madelyn, and your colleagues and fellow students appreciate the role that our police departments plays here. They are wired differently. When we hire them, we make sure they understand they are here to protect, assure the safety of our faculty, staff, and students, not to arrest and penalize and punish. This is so obvious. That is so important for people to understand. I mean, the arrest that they've made is only in very extreme cases. And so that's really important. So imagine, and I put myself, I was in these shoes, if you have to deal with immigration issues and any type of situation that requires the interventions of law enforcement, would you rather have to do with one of our own officers who are trained, wired differently, or someone else who does not know us, who's here to just reinforce the law, with all my due respect to them, but they're not the same. So that's what's really going on. And every time we had a chance, we're communicating continuously. We are in touch with all our international students. We're not immigration lawyers. We cannot tell them what to do. But we present them with all the resources available for them. We have guidelines for our faculty and staff on how to react if they are in the presence of any ICE activities. We do care. When we say culture of care is really part of our DNA and out of our values, that is not just talking the talk. It's about walking the walk. Safety, security of our students, that's my top concerns. That's the only thing that really, in addition to other few, keep me up at night. And we're not indifferent. This is personal for me. It really is personal. I went through that stress. I went through the different phases. So, if there are other ideas, short of not complying with the law, that our wonderful students or anyone has for us, we're here to listen. If they want to know something that we have not answered, please come to us. We'll answer.
I think a lot of students were very frustrated to find out, not through the university, but through us, that ICE training had begun.
I think the second you learned about it very shortly after it started. You were quicker than us. You really were quicker. That's something that we always been very transparent about, and it's not something you just happened. You were at the right place at the right time, and you were quicker than us, and that's really what happened.
Okay.
No, it wasn't the plan to, we work really carefully on our messages because we want to be transparent, but we don't want to scare people. From you guys, it's really more about just sending the information. Well, this is what we do. For us, we have to be extra careful. It's like somebody says, you really have to be careful, President, with your words, because every word can be misinterpreted, can be taken out of context. So we work very hard on these updates, and that's why I'm not saying that you don't work hard, but you have a different mission than us.
Yes.
And that's why it probably took us few hours, literally, after you guys there, but the communications went out to our faculty, staff, and international students.
Right. And so with that, I do want to know, regardless of whether or not the students who are scared, who are feeling a little anxious about the agreement, whether or not their understanding of the ICE agreement is accurate or not, I do still feel like it's, very,
It is a stressful time for all
Right.
of us. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But this is why, please, if there is anything, when these students come and they're scared, send them our way. Send them our way. I promise you, we will do everything we can to inform them with everything we have and take them to the right resources that could help them. Any other suggestions, just let us know.
Okay.
Really let us know to reassure people. And more importantly, this is the problem is when you have things like this is the rumors have started. So, wow, I've heard in so many times like, oh my God, ICE is at UNF arresting students. That's none of that.
That's not true.
Absolutely not true.
Right.
Absolutely not true. Now, this is why we really are asking our wonderful community faculty, staff, and students to read our communications, and if they have questions, come to us. Please don't believe these rumors. The atrocity that I have heard about ICE on campus and international students in jail, this is absolutely not true.
Right.
We have not had any ICE activities on our campus,
Right.
period.
Yes. Yes. And I do wonder, for students who have maybe heard these rumors, latched onto them, have, you know, or just still anxious about the agreement, maybe they don't believe the rumors. I do wonder if there's something you could speak on, you know, obviously, given national headlines, there's been racial profiling when it comes to ICE arrests, and there's been, you know, it's a very politicized, it's a very politicized phenomenon across the country, and I do wonder if there's something you could speak on about, you know, tell students, you know, what is the benefit of having a campus with a diverse student population?
Absolutely. There is no doubt. One of our biggest pride here at UNF is that it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to find somebody like you. Mm-hmm. Look at me. Like a person who grew up without electricity from a very poor city in Africa leading this place. Isn't that proof that we have people from different backgrounds? Mm-hmm. And we are committed. I said it many, many times that my commitment to all my colleagues, faculty, staff, and our students is that I'm going to do everything I can to assure, of course, the safety and security of everyone, but also the success of everyone, regardless of what background they have. That is our commitment. We are standing by it, and we're doing it. Now, of course I cannot comment of what other agencies and others are doing. That's not my business.
I know, yes.
But I can assure you, we have no racial profiling or any type of similar behavior at UNF. That I can assure you.
Okay.
And we have so many platforms where we made it very easy for anyone to report any behavior of this nature. And I can assure you, sometimes we do. And we do not take these complaints very lightly. Each one of them, I personally make sure that they are investigated, that follow through, and if there are actions to be taken, they are taken. Of course, we don't publicize these to protect the privacy of different people. But that's what the UNF way. When we talk about culture of care, we're not joking, we're not talking, we really are walking the walk.
And I think the last thing I wanted to touch on today
Sure.
Was that lots of university presidents across the country,
The what, sorry?
lots of university presidents
Yes.
Across the country have spoken out against federal and state initiatives that they don't agree with, that they don't believe align with their institutions' goals for success. And at UNF, earlier this year, we lost a great deal of grant funding due to federal executive orders. There is, you know, of course, the agreement with ICE as well that has trickled down from the governor's office. And so I wonder, faculty, staff, and students have expressed to me that it's something important to them to know at what point do you decide to risk your job, risk breaking the law to do what you personally believe is right?
Okay, that's a good question. We talked a lot about ICE, so
Right.
I hope that the answers.
Right.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
For these, everybody is free to lead and speak whatever they want. I am not here to judge any other presidents, what they do, what they don't. I am responsible for my own actions, for my universities.
Yes.
But I can assure you, from my readings, no one, by breaking the law, got anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you have cases, let me know. I don't know them. We are state institutions. Complying with the law is what we do here. There are other means to change the laws. Not complying with them is not. If people want to change the laws, you know what they do? What do they do? Madelyn, they go and vote and change the law. That's the essence of democracy. If we start breaking the law right and left, you know what would happen. That's, I think that's really important for us. You said something that I respectfully disagree with. It's like, fear of losing my job. That's not my biggest fear, not complying with the law. You know what? I am a tenured full professor here. Can always go back and teach. That's not my biggest fear at all. My biggest fear is our institutions would be hurt. When it is hurt, who will be hurt? Our students,
Right.
our faculty, and our staff. My job is to protect these institutions within the framework of the law. That's what I do. That's my biggest fear.
I think also people are concerned about, I think a good majority of people, from what I've seen, do not expect you or want you to break the law. I think they have asked, a lot of people have expressed that some laws seem to be, or rules seem to be unwritten, seem to be, there seems to be a whole, a chilling effect that has come from the federal government, the state government, that is maybe not realized in written law. But I think I would like to ask you.
Yeah. This is really where I think people will assume things, will listen to rumors, misinformations. We're here. If they have these cases, just talk to us. We will explain to you what is happening. But to say, there are unwritten rules, it's really hard for me to answer a similar question without the context. It really is a difficult, very difficult for me. So,
And I didn't ask a question yet, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that's sorry.
So I want to know, what do you think, is there anything you could say? I think a lot of the university presidents that I mentioned before that have spoken out, they're not necessarily breaking laws, but they're saying things that do not align with, they're purposely going, they're saying things that do not align with the federal administration's initiatives. They're saying things that don't align with their state's initiatives. And I think people want to know, would you be willing to actually speak about things that are important to you that may not necessarily align with the law, but do not break the law because you have a right to free speech?
First of all, I'm not here to judge what other presidents do.
I understand that.
I really don't.
I do.
And everyone has different values, different ideologies, different priorities. I am not here to be the hero. I am not here to be the hero. I am here to protect this institution. This is a public institution. We comply by the law. We do everything in the framework of the law. That's what we do here. If others are doing it, good for them. We're here to comply with the law. There is a lot of discussions that people don't see that happened in different platforms and meetings, that we try to give feedback on different rules and different regulations. If we see that they probably will hinder any type of aspects of our institutions, and this is how we act, and this is how I believe in. My role is to protect these institutions, and through protecting this institution is to protect our faculty, staff, and students. That's what we do here. We focus on educations. That's what we do. We focus on changing lives.
All right.
That's what we do. I'd rather spend my time on bringing resources, finding ways we assure the safety, security of our students, making sure we hire, we retain the best possible faculty and staff who will help our students. I'd rather spending my time coming up with innovative, creative ideas like free AI certificates for everybody that will have an impact. This is how we have an impact. This is really how we impact. Now, if others, they want to have impact differently, it's their choice. Like you said, it's a free country. Everyone is free to set their own priorities. My priority is to protect our faculty, staff, and students, these institutions, to educate, to change lives, bring resources, remove obstacles, assure the success of everyone regardless of their background. That's what I focus on. That's my top priority. I'm not a politician.
Right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I do appreciate
Of
the
course.
time today.
Of course.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.